King's Black Heart, Part 14. Your king wasn't always as cold and cruel, but an assassin murdering his father twisted his heart. You're the only one spared the full brunt of his wrath, but even the love you used to share with him hasn't stopped him from causing you harm. He came to rescue you from the prince that took you away, was imprisoned but treated well. Now, you're just trying to determine your feelings between the kind, genuine Prince Ivan, your current fiancé, or Alistair, your oldest friend. Someone wants you dead, and your men have dedicated themselves to helping you figure out why. Scene opens in Alistair's room. It's been a few weeks by now, and Alistair can just manage to walk for a bit. At present, your men are mildly arguing behind you as you look into the fire. You've called for the chieftain to meet with us, then?
I still feel this is an awful idea, though. They've shown themselves to be completely uncaring about our rules and regulations.
We killed one of his, Ivan. He mocked me to try and test if I was worthy of redeeming that death, and I failed. The mark has gone back to the advisor, and we have no recourse but to face their leader head-on and ask her to mend this.
I suspect that will end with someone's death, Alistair.
If it's my head he wants, so be it. Sins of the father, and whatnot.
We're not going to let him murder you. No more harm is going to be done while you two are under my care. Do you understand me?
You turn and see your fiancé pacing and shaking. After a moment, you rise and embrace him, feeling his more subtle muscles tense under your touch.
Thank you for your embrace, my pearl. Do not fret, all right? You both will be safe, I promise. No more pain.
Ivan, pain is inevitable. All we can do is prepare for it and enjoy what peace we get.
Do not lecture me. This can be resolved without violence. I know it can. I will find a way.
The advisor is right. You are not alone.
I think I liked you when you were an asshole more, Alistair. It was a lot easier to entertain the notion of punching you in the face.
Well, if I do get dragged off to pay for my father's crimes, I'll be sure to call you a raging asshole, or call you out for those whines you make when you can't reach something off of the top shelf.
You bitch.
You watch them laugh together, bittersweet as it is, and wish you could join them. Instead, you go to excuse yourself. Oh, you need a bit of time to yourself, love. Of course.
Quite right. I prepared a study for you at the end of the hall and had it stocked with some spell books, journals, and other things I thought might interest you. But I do believe there are Ica samples in there from what Alistair vomited up in the dungeon.
I told you I'd help clean that if you gave me a damned mop.
Alistair, with due respect, you got bitch-skipped so hard that I'd worry about you successfully eating soup at present, lest we forget the clam chowder incident.
I wasn't expecting the clams here to be the size of a child's fist. Despite yourself, you can't help but smile a little as they bicker amicably, and slip out of the room while they are occupied. You enter the study and find yourself before a wooden work table, littered with neatly stacked spellbooks, potion bottles both filled and unfilled, and other trinkets you can't recognize. You are just getting settled in when a calm, monotone voice fills your ear.
Advisor.
Juno stands before you, just as unreadable as ever.
Your Highness, do be calm. It is Juno, Ivan's advisor. A fine evening to you as well. I see you've managed or decided to sequester yourself in the study our prince provided for you. No. Prince Ivan and King Alistair do not require you at this moment. They are still planning, I suppose is the word. But I have been observing you since you came here months ago. It is my job to be observant, same as yours. And I've noticed very quickly that you require perspective.
You look up at Juno with a bit of a glare, not in the mood for a lecture.
You have been a victim all of your life, advisor. Not by choice, of course, but you have been wronged many times by those that were meant to have your best interest at heart. Any time you tried to fight back, you were put down. Any time you tried to struggle against your lot in life, you were kept anchored by his need for you. You are a true friend, advisor, and damned good at what you do. But you've neglected the Verosian aspect of you your entire life, as you didn't even know you had one. It is okay to be a warrior, advisor. It is something that you appreciate from Alistair, yes? His ability to fight and rage against any foe that might threaten you. He cannot do that anymore, advisor. He cannot charge in, ready to die to save your honor. And Ivan is no warrior. Alistair has called a Verosian here for talk, not battle, and you and I both know it will end in disaster. You must stand and embrace your heritage. How? Think of how you have been formed, advisor, of the influence upon you currently. You've already solved your own problem, just not for yourself. Think, Alistair's best versus Ivan's best, combined with you.
You glance back at the bottles and books on your desk, watching the ichor bubble away above a stack of spellbooks.
Yes, you're getting it, aren't you? Looking at the ichor Alistair vomited up and the spellbooks Ivan lent you has given you some ideas, Good. Now, let us prepare for disaster together, Of course I will help you, child. We advisors have to stick together, Now, first and foremost, I have an old friend I'd like you to meet, waiting in the gardens. He's a bit on the hairy side, mind, and he needs a good bath, or 6. Regardless, what would a Verosian be without their mount,
To be continued. Thus concludes The King's Black Heart, Part 14. Today we've been introduced to a new character, or at least the first time we're hearing them speak, in Juno. I took a little bit of time this afternoon in thinking of how I wanted to voice them. I hope it comes across well, given some of the notes here just in the script as to this person, and what they could mean for the advisor, as well as just kind of playing around with it a little bit in my head. So anyways, all in all, this script ended up requiring me to basically do 4 voices within this little video. So I hope they all come across different enough and unique enough that I do the characters justice and the narration comes across well alongside that. So I appreciate you listening. Please, I'm always open to feedback, so hit me with that below if you have any. Obviously, a little bit something new here in this video, so curious to see how people will feel about it. But if you like the video, again, liking the video manually here helps. And if you want to see more as I continue on this journey of trying to get better at this, then consider subscribing. You can always change your mind later if you don't want to subscribe. But ultimately, I am just thankful that you listened, and I appreciate you being here as I, improve at this. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Big shout out to the scriptwriter, as always. It's ItsEsmeJones. Please go follow them on Twitter and check out their script on Reddit. I will post the original below in the description. So much love to them. They know I appreciate them. If you're hearing this, I love you. Just kidding, but actually. But yeah, so I'll be around in the next one. Thank you so much. Peace.